What is up, Nexus Nation? Welcome back to PS5 Nexus, your ultimate source for all things PlayStation. We are absolutely buzzing today because the news cycle is absolutely on fire, and we've got some massive updates that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Get ready, because we're diving headfirst into a week packed with incredible reveals, game-changing announcements, and deep dives that will have you on the edge of your seat. From vibrant puzzle experiences to gritty, atmospheric adventures, and even some truly boundary-pushing horror, we've got it all covered. This is your essential PlayStation rundown, so buckle up and let's get into it. First up, a beloved puzzle franchise is making a spectacular return with a brand new installment, and you can get a taste of the action right now. We're talking about a limited-time demo that's dropped for a title that promises a unique blend of rhythm, light, and addictive gameplay. You've got 1 week to experience it, so you'll want to know all the details on how to jump in and what to expect before it vanishes. Then, we're heading into the dark and mysterious world of a highly anticipated survival horror experience. This game is leveraging the incredible power of the PS5's Dualsense controller to deliver an unparalleled level of immersion, from the unique feel of each weapon to the chilling audio cues coming directly from your hands. You won't want to miss how they're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And finally, prepare yourselves, because we're exploring a title that is boldly stepping into uncharted territory, embracing its mature themes with a visceral and unflinching approach. This game is not for the faint of heart, and we'll break down exactly how it's pushing the M rating to its absolute limits with its unique blend of psychological horror and intense narrative. You absolutely need to stick around for all of this. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Let's go. A puzzle gem returns with a fleeting taste of brilliance. Get ready to ignite your senses, because a beloved puzzle game is making a highly anticipated comeback, and you can experience a slice of its magic right now. Lumines Arise, the latest installment in the iconic series known for its synesthetic fusion of sound, light, and addictive puzzle gameplay, has just announced its release date for PS5 and Steam, November 11. But the excitement doesn't stop there. Developer Enhance has surprise-dropped a playable demo for the game, available for a strictly limited time. This isn't just any demo. It's your chance to dive into the core mechanics and get a feel for the rhythmic bliss that Lumines is famous for, but you'll need to act fast, as it's only accessible for 1 week. The demo will disappear after 11:59 p.m. local time on September 3rd, making this a true race against the clock to sample its offerings. The demo itself provides a curated experience, offering 3 stages from the single-player journey mode, allowing players to get a feel for the progression and the evolving challenges. More excitingly, it also includes a preview of the brand-new multiplayer mode, Burst Battle. This competitive mode promises cross-platform online play, adding a social and challenging layer to the classic Lumines formula. While the demo is set to an easy difficulty to welcome newcomers, the full game will undoubtedly cater to veteran players with a wider range of challenges. Unfortunately, for those hoping to experience the game in virtual reality, the demo will not feature VR compatibility, and other game modes will be visible but inaccessible, giving you just enough to crave more. Pre-orders for both the standard and digital deluxe editions of Lumines Arise are now open on the PlayStation Store and Steam. PlayStation Plus members can snag a special 10% discount leading up to the November 11th release, sweetening the deal for loyal subscribers. The digital deluxe edition is particularly enticing, as it includes exclusive in-game avatars and nameplates featuring artwork from other acclaimed enhanced titles like Tetris Effect, Connected, Res Infinite, and Humanity. The PS5 version gets an extra special bonus with an exclusive Astro Bot avatar and nameplate, adding even more value for PlayStation fans. Lumines Arise promises a new soundtrack by S.T.A.L.K.E.R, the composer behind Tetris Effect. Connected, ensuring that the music remains intrinsically linked to the gameplay, pulsating with every block cleared and combo achieved. This release is generating considerable buzz, with fans of the original Lumines series and newcomers alike eagerly anticipating its arrival. The limited-time demo has already sparked discussions about the game's mechanics and the return of the beloved franchise. Many are praising the developer's decision to offer a sneak peek, despite the short window, as it allows players to directly engage with the game before committing to a purchase. The inclusion of cross-platform multiplayer in the demo is also a major talking point, highlighting the potential for a vibrant online community. But before we get lost in the rhythm, we've got even more essential PlayStation news waiting for you. Up next, we're diving deep into how one highly anticipated title is using the PS5's unique hardware to deliver an unforgettable experience. Dualsense Immersion reaches new heights in chilling horror adventure. Prepare to be truly immersed, because GSC Game World is pulling out all the stops for the PlayStation 5 version of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl, promising an experience that goes beyond what's available on other platforms. In a revealing interview, technical producer Evgeny Kilik detailed how the development team has embraced the PS5's unique features, particularly the Dualsense wireless controller, to elevate player immersion to unprecedented levels. This isn't just about graphical fidelity. It's about making players feel the game in ways previously unimaginable. Kilik expressed the team's genuine enjoyment in developing for the PlayStation platform, highlighting the wealth of new features that inspired their approach. "We actually had a lot of fun while we were doing the version of our game for PlayStation, because it's a completely new platform for us and it provides us with a lot of new features," he stated. The DualSense controller, in particular, became a focal point for their innovation. For example, like the DualSense controller features. So, of course, we utilize that because we can immerse our players in the game more and more using those features. This dedication to leveraging the hardware means that players can expect a deeply integrated and responsive experience. Among the standout features detailed are the adaptive triggers and the controller's built-in speaker. The adaptive triggers are being meticulously tuned to mimic the distinct feel of each weapon in the game. Whether it's the tension of pulling a trigger or the sharp recoil, each firearm will have a unique tactile feedback, thanks to the adaptive trigger technology. This attention to detail extends to the authenticity of the weapon's sounds themselves, with the team recording real gunfire to ensure maximum realism. Kilik emphasized this point, noting, "We are basically acquainted with each gun that is presented to the game, okay, maybe not each, but the Gauss rifle. We tried to get that realistic trigger experience and provide it within the game. The goal is to provide a digital experience that players can truly feel with their fingertips." Perhaps Kilik's favorite feature, however, is the DualSense speaker. As a first-person shooter, the controller speaker is being used to deliver crucial in-game audio cues directly to the player. "I personally like our integration of speaker, because our game is first-person shooter, so the speaker provides us with the maximum power of immersion, because basically, like an example, some system notification, some radio chatter, and the radio is basically on your left or right shoulder," he explained. Imagine hearing radio communications or system alerts emanating from your controller, as if they were happening right beside you, adding an incredible layer of spatial awareness and immersion. This integration aims to make the world of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 feel more alive and present. The PS5 version of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl, is set to launch on November 20, 2025, following its initial release on Xbox Series XS and PC in November 2024. This staggered release for PlayStation players means that GSC Game World has had ample time to refine and enhance the experience, focusing on delivering a truly next-generation offering that capitalizes on the PS5's advanced capabilities. The developer's commitment to utilizing the DualSense controller has generated significant excitement among fans, particularly those who appreciate deep immersion in their gaming experiences. The prospect of feeling the unique recoil of each weapon and hearing critical audio cues directly from the controller has many players eager to jump into the zone on their PlayStation consoles. This focus on tactile and auditory feedback suggests that the PS5 version will offer a distinct and arguably superior way to experience the game's atmospheric and intense world. This level of hardware integration is truly impressive, but our next story pushes the boundaries in a completely different and much darker direction. Get ready, because we're diving into a horror experience that's not afraid to explore the extreme. Hellraiser PS5, a bold leap into uncharted, mature thematic territory. Prepare yourself for a gaming experience that dives headfirst into the often unexplored, mature themes associated with the iconic Hellraiser franchise. The upcoming Hellraiser PS5 game, developed by Mad Head Games, is making a bold statement by pushing the boundaries of its M rating to the absolute limit, exploring sexual horror and psychological dread with an unflinching gaze. Based on the initial hours experienced in a preview demo, this title is not shying away from the franchise's notorious reputation for delving into the erotic and the extreme, promising a visceral and deeply unsettling journey. From the very opening moments, the game establishes its mature tone. The preview showcased scenes that are both intimate and disturbing, featuring protagonists engaging in acts that blend pleasure with pain, incorporating elements like self-inflicted injuries with sharp objects. This direct engagement with the franchise's inherent sensuality is a core aspect of the game's identity. Game designer S.R. confirmed the team's intent to explore these themes responsibly, stating that they are pushing the very limits of what it can show, with every scene carefully choreographed to ensure it respects the source material without overstepping the line. This suggests a careful balance between provocative content and narrative integrity, aiming to capture the essence of Clive Barker's vision. The demo itself, played from a first-person perspective, immerses players in a world of disgustingly detailed environments. It draws parallels to modern survival horror titles like Resident Evil 7 and Village, focusing on atmospheric exploration and narrative progression. The introduction of the iconic antagonist, Pinhead, is handled with cinematic flair, featuring original actor Doug Bradley reprising his role, adding significant authenticity and gravitas. The narrative kicks off with the protagonist, Aiden, inadvertently summoning the Cenobites through a mysterious artifact known as the Genesis configuration, following a disturbing intimate encounter. The story hints at complex relationships and potential supernatural manipulation, with visions of a character named Sunny suggesting a path to salvation or a descent into madness. The pacing in the early stages is deliberately slow, allowing players to absorb the oppressive atmosphere and meticulously explore their surroundings. While the gameplay is largely linear, the inclusion of crafting mechanics for essential items like bandages and medicines adds a layer of survival strategy. The game also masterfully plays with player perception, employing reality-bending techniques reminiscent of titles like Layers of Fear and PT to create a disorienting and unnerving experience. This psychological manipulation is a key element in building suspense and fear. As the demo progresses, the gameplay evolves from atmospheric exploration to more intense sequences. Players will encounter chase scenarios where they are pursued by a Cenobite, demanding quick reflexes and precise movement to survive. These trial-and-error moments, while potentially frustrating due to instant failure mechanics, effectively capture the white-knuckle tension expected from a horror title. The introduction of combat, starting with melee weapons and progressing to firearms with limited ammunition, indicates that players will need to engage actively with the threats they face. The Genesis configuration is also teased to grant cosmic powers, hinting at a more dynamic combat system later in the game. The community reaction to the game's bold thematic approach has been varied, with some expressing excitement for its unique take on horror and others voicing concerns about its mature content. The developer's commitment to staying true to the Hellraiser lore, which inherently involves exploring taboos, is a point of discussion. Whether this fusion of sex and scares will resonate with a broad audience or remain a niche, albeit impactful, experience remains to be seen. The game is slated for a 2026 release, leaving ample time for further development and anticipation. This exploration of mature themes is certainly provocative, but our final story brings us back to the exciting world of gaming with a different kind of immersive experience. Get ready to hear about how the Dualsense controller is being used to create incredibly unique weapon feedback. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 PS5 embraces Dualsense for unrivaled immersion. Get ready to experience the zone like never before, as GSC Game World is meticulously crafting the PlayStation 5 version of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl, to be a true showcase of the Dualsense wireless controller's capabilities. Technical producer Evgeny Kulik recently shared insights into how the development team has gone above and beyond to integrate the PS5's unique features, aiming to deliver an unparalleled level of immersion that sets this version apart. This deep dive into the controller's functionalities promises a tactile and auditory experience that will pull players deeper into the game's atmospheric and dangerous world. Kulik highlighted the team's positive experience developing for the PlayStation platform, noting the wealth of new features that inspired their creative direction. "We actually had a lot of fun while we were doing the version of our game for PlayStation, because it's a completely new platform for us and it provides us with a lot of new features," he explained. The DualSense controller, with its advanced haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, was a key focus. For example, like the DualSense controller features. So, of course, we utilize that because we can immerse our players in the game more and more using those features, Kulik elaborated, emphasizing the goal of creating a more engaging and believable gameplay environment. A significant focus of the PS5 version's immersion strategy lies in the adaptive triggers and the controller's built-in speaker. The team has worked to ensure that each weapon in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 feels distinct, with the adaptive triggers replicating the specific tension and recoil associated with different firearms. This granular control over trigger resistance aims to make every shot feel more impactful and authentic. Kulik mentioned the team's dedication to realism, stating, "We are basically acquainted with each gun that is presented to the game. We tried to get that realistic trigger experience and provide it within the game." This commitment extends to sound design, with actual gunfire recordings being used to enhance the authenticity of the audio experience. However, Kulik singled out the DualSense speaker as his personal favorite feature for enhancing immersion. In a first-person shooter where situational awareness is crucial, the controller's speaker plays a vital role. "I personally like our integration of speaker, because our game is first-person shooter, so the speaker provides us with the maximum power of immersion. Because basically, like an example, some system notification, some radio chatter, and the radio is basically on your left or right shoulder," he described. This means that critical audio cues, such as radio communications or in-game alerts, will emanate directly from the controller, creating a more localized and believable soundscape. It's a subtle yet powerful way to draw players further into the game's narrative and environment. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chornobyl, which was initially released for Xbox Series XS and PC in November 2024, is slated for its PS5 debut on November 20, 2025. This extended development period for the PlayStation version has allowed GSC Game World to fine-tune these immersive features, ensuring that PS5 owners receive a polished and deeply integrated experience. The developer's dedication to leveraging the DualSense controller's unique capabilities is a testament to their commitment to delivering a next-generation experience that truly stands out. Players are eagerly anticipating how these DualSense features will translate into gameplay, with many seeing it as a significant draw for the PS5 version. The prospect of feeling the unique mechanics of each weapon and hearing crucial audio cues directly from the controller adds an exciting layer to the already highly anticipated title. This focus on tactile and auditory feedback promises to make the desolate and dangerous world of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 even more palpable and engaging for PlayStation players. These deep dives into game features are fascinating, but we've got one more story today that's pushing boundaries in a very different and much more mature way. Next up, we're talking about a horror game that's not afraid to get extremely intimate with its subject matter. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. We saw a limited-time demo drop for Lumines Arise, bringing that classic puzzle rhythm back with a modern twist. Then, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is seriously upping the immersion on PS5 with incredible DualSense features. We also got a preview of Hellraiser PS5, a horror game boldly exploring mature themes and pushing its M rating to the extreme. Finally, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is set to deliver unparalleled immersion on PS5 thanks to deep DualSense integration, making every weapon and sound feel more real than ever. If you loved this update, smash that like button, subscribe to PS5 Nexus for all your PlayStation needs, Ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And let us know in the comments which of today's stories has you most hyped. You can also follow us on all our social channels for more gaming news and updates. Thanks for watching, Nexus Nation, and we'll see you in the next one.